The Philadelphia Phillies look to bounce back after a tough loss last night as they get set for Game 2 of their 4-game series against the Miami Marlins. Welcome to the Phillies Fan Podcast here on Big Fan Sports. I'm your host, Jaden Harper. The Phillies did lose last night, 7-4 against Miami, and probably one of the worst losses of the season, and it got even worse as we have updates on both Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. We'll start with Harper. Bryce Harper is going on the 10-day IL with a hamstring injury, left hamstring strain. It's more similar to Brandon Marsh's injury that he suffered in early June than Trey Turner's injury that he suffered in May. So Harper, hopefully, the expectation is about 10 to 14 days for his return. Phillies aren't sure if he's going to need a rehab assignment yet or not, but right now he is going on the 10-day IL. But in his replacement, it will be Cody Clemens coming up from his rehab assignment down in AAA. He'll be rejoining the team today, reinstated from the 10-day injured list. Now, Kyle Schwarber is also going on the 10-day IL with a groin strain, left groin strain suffered in the 8th inning of yesterday's loss. He will be down for 10 to 14 days as well. So both avoided major injuries, but Johan Rojas will be coming back up to the Major League team to join him and replace Kyle Schwarber. So the Phillies do bring up two replacements. So it's going to be an interesting 10 to 14 days for the Phillies trying to get through a really tough patch. Obviously, the schedule does get a little harder. Chicago, Atlanta, and then the Dodgers. But the good news is the All-Star break is coming up. So the Phillies do have time in between if they do want to hold Harper and Schwarber out until after the All-Star break. That's when the Phillies are expected to be at 100% because JT Realmuto is also expected to be returning around that time. So the Phillies are banged up right now. They've had the next man up mentality all season long. They've had injuries on every single front. Obviously, you have two pitchers on the IL right now. You have Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto. They're all injured. But this isn't anything new for the 2024 Philadelphia Phillies. So it will be interesting to see if everybody can step up in the absence of probably the two of the best players on the Phillies. So we'll see what happens there. In other news, there's still a game to play tonight as the Phillies and the Marlins at 6:20 again tonight. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound for the Phillies. He has been absolutely unstoppable and unhittable at Citizens Bank Park this season. At home this season, he has a 1.59 ERA. On the total season, he has a 2.67 ERA, which is the ninth best in all of the major leagues and the third best in the National League. 70 strikeouts in 84 innings, a 5-3 record in 15 games started. This is one of his best seasons he's produced in the major leagues, especially now he has the contract extension for the next 4 years with options for 2 years after the 4 years. Christopher Sanchez has become one of the best pitchers on the Phillies rotation, but his numbers at home and on the road are so stark when it comes to comparing them. If we do get to a postseason series where it is like the National League Division Series and you're going to need 4 starters, when you look at it, do you have Christopher Sanchez start a game at home intentionally because he has not performed well on the road this season? It's obviously something for the Phillies to look into. There's a long time to do that before, because we also do have the trade deadline coming up, and also the Phillies might not have to use 4 starters in the National League Division Series. It might only be a 3-starter rotation. Phillies have a 78.5% chance to win tonight's game, according to ESPN, which is a little lower than last night, but obviously last night they lost, so as expected. Also, not a worse pitcher, but obviously Christopher Sanchez is not as good as Zach Wheeler. The Phillies, their 2 injuries catching up to them. So it's not surprising that the Phillies have a lower percentage to win tonight's game against the Miami Marlins at 6:20 Eastern Time. I will be live on Sunday at 1:35 Eastern Time when the Phillies take on the Marlins for the final of this 4-game series. So make sure to tune in for that. Thank you for watching episode 10 of Phillies Fan Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.